Prime Minister-designate Mark Carney and Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre are now looking ahead to an election that sources say could be called next week.
There is tremendous energy in the Liberal caucus. As you saw last evening, this is a united party with full of energy to serve Canadians.
Mr. Carney is so smart on economics. How is it that he was so wrong for so long on all of the economic issues?
The latest Nanos poll conducted before Carney's landslide Liberal leadership win has the Conservatives leading the Liberals by 3 points. That is down from a 20-point lead back in October. With more on how this year's election could take shape, I'm joined now from Calgary by Lori Williams, political analyst and associate professor at Mount Royal University. Good morning, Lori. Good to see you. Mark Carney pitched the Liberals on his economic experience throughout the leadership race. He ran on his resume. What do you think his strategy will look like in a national race when he is facing Pierre Poilievre?
Well, he's got to do two things. One, he's got to sort of portray his vision for how he's going to respond to some of the challenges that Canadians are facing. There's a great deal, a groundswell, frankly, of national unity. And I think there's a lot of willingness on the part of Canadians to try to pull together to deal with the challenges that are coming out of the United States. Mark Carney needs to fill out his vision of what that's going to look like. And if he's able to portray himself as a steady hand on the economic wheel of Canada to sort of generate a sense that he can provide stability, that might be very appealing to Canadians. On the other hand, he's also got to show that he is capable of responding to directly to the challenges coming out of the United States. And there's just not much stability coming there. So that's going to be a much more challenging part.
All right. So we mentioned the Nanos poll. Let me go through some of the other polling. Polling aggregate 338 Canada has the Conservatives leading in Ontario, the Prairies, Alberta, British Columbia. The Liberals are leading in Atlantic Canada, Quebec, and the Territories. As we said off the top, though, the momentum seems to be with the Liberals, who have raced a double-digit lead by the Conservatives. So can the Liberals dare to dream that they could win this next election, Lori?
If you'd asked me a month, 2 months ago, I would have said, no, that's just too big a lead to make up. But events have sort of overtaken the election. It's no longer an election about the Liberal record. It's about the future of Canada and facing unprecedented challenges coming primarily out of the United States, but certainly in terms of international security and economic considerations as well. So we do know that momentum is on the side of the Liberals at this point in time. We also know the Conservatives have a lot of money and a lot of experience at attacking and defining leaders that first come into opposition to them in the Liberals. And so I think there's going to be a real challenge on the part of the Liberals, both to try to appeal to Canadians, sort of keep it sort of positive and unified, at the same time as saying that they're a better choice than the Conservatives, who are likely going to continue to lob serious negative campaigning at Mark Carney.
Right, and that leads nicely into my last question for you this morning. The Prime Minister has been the focus, the target of Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's criticism of the Liberals for years. So how does Carney's leadership change the way the Conservatives prepare for this campaign? How do they adjust? What do you make of what we have heard so far from Pierre Poilievre taking aim at Carney now?
Yeah, so far, Mark, he's saying that Mark Carney has advised Justin Trudeau, as we heard in the clip that you just played. He has been responsible for the Liberal record up until this point. He's Justin Trudeau 2.0, and it's going to be just more of the same. I think he's going to have to go beyond simply attacking another version of Justin Trudeau. He's got to present his vision for the future of Canada, as well as got to be seen as a credible vision. And the challenge for Pierre Poilievre, although he's a very skilled politician and he has an edge on that side, he doesn't have the private sector experience that Mark Carney does. He doesn't have the credibility on the economic front that Mark Carney does. And so the attempt to sort of take down Mark Carney, that's got to be part of the strategy. But he's also got to show that he's got a vision for the future of Canada that is credible, that it looks like he's got the stability and the gravitas to deal with the challenges that Canada is facing.
Lori Williams is a political analyst and associate professor at Mount Royal University. Lori, thanks so much this morning. Appreciate it.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.